All right, good morning. Today is Wednesday, the 7th of September. This is Jeff Scott. The class is the online AWD1100 C# programming class for fall 2022. Today you are taking your hands-on test for chapters 1 through 5. Basically, it's chapters 4 and 5. So I want to take a couple minutes. It's 8:05, and I like to take no more than 10 minutes or so to go over the test, what I'm looking for, etc. in here. Now, I am expecting that by now, everyone who's taking this test, you all have a GitHub repository, and you've all sent me an invite to that repository. All right. So using your textbook, labs, and the internet, complete the following tests. They must be your own work. Please create 3 projects here under your HOTS solution. You should save those as HOT02-01, HOT02-02, and HOT02-03. Once you have completed the test, all right, upload it to your GitHub repo and make sure you send me an invite if you haven't already done so. Now, this right here was not on your test. I wish I'd put it there, but I was in too much of a hurry, evidently, to do that. If you would, please email me at jpscott@rankin.edu. After you've completed the test and after you've uploaded it to GitHub, then I can double check to make sure that I can access the test, etc., so that I'll be able to grade it. All right, so again, there are 3 problems on the test. They are all GUI problems. Here is number 1. You are to create a GUI-based program that converts distances from yards to meters, or between yards and meters, however you want to read that. The program must contain a constant called meters in a yard as shown there, and it must have the value of 0.9144. Then you will prompt the user here for the distance in yards. Once you click the calculate button, it should give the answer in meters. So by multiplying 10 by 0.9144, you get 9.144, and then rounded to 2 decimal places, it becomes 9.14. All right. As always, set up the tab order. This is a read-only field, so set up the tab order. You should know how to do that by now. Set up your accept button, set up your cancel button, set your Windows start position. Notice, make sure you change the name of the form and make sure you put something like that up here for the text, but rather than your name here, put your actual name there. All right, so that's problem 1. Problem 2. Shown below is the Rankin grading system. So this is literally what it says. If you have a grade that's within this range, it's excellent. If it's within this range, it's very good. Down to if it's in this range, it does not satisfy the course requirement. So you're going to write, we've already done this, where you enter a grade, a number grade, and it gives you a letter grade. We're going to flip this. You enter a letter grade, and it gives you a number grade. So in other words, if you enter an A, it should say 92.5 through 100%, excellent. If you enter a D, it should say 69.5 to 74.49% does not meet course requirements. So again, you will write a program that flips this. So the input should be the letter grade, and the output should basically be one of these things. Not the grade, but everything else that you see here and here. So add each one of these things. So each one of these should be a string constant. This should be a string constant. This should be a string constant. This should be a string constant, etc. You don't have to put, you can put just a blank space in between each one of these. If you want to put a tab in, it's \T. It doesn't matter. Do not allow for blank or invalid input. In other words, all right, when you check for this stuff, you should be checking for A, B plus, B, C plus, C, D, and F. And if it's other than that, say something like invalid grade. Very similar to when we entered something into the numeric grade that was less than 0 or greater than 100. If the grade is entered in lowercase, you convert it to uppercase before you test it. All right. So I put it in there as a lowercase d, but that would have to be done up to an uppercase D. And then you'd say this. And again, this is, may not look like, but this is a read-only field. Again, set your tab order, set your accept button, set your cancel button, set your Windows start position, rename the form, just like you're going to rename that form, rename this form, and change the form text so it looks like this, except it's actually got your real name in there. So that's the second problem. The third problem, which is the hardest of the three. All right, write a GUI-based program. Assume that you're running a snowplow service. All right, the snowplow season lasts 15 weeks. The fee for plowing a driveway greater than or equal to 100 feet is $75. All right, the fee for a driveway that's greater than or equal to 60 feet but less than 100 feet is $50. The fee for plowing a driveway less than 60 feet is $25. You assume that each driveway is plowed once a week during the snowplow season. So you will prompt, this is the only prompt. So if you put 100 in there, it should figure out what? Well, if it's 100 feet or more is $75 per plow. All right. 75 times 15 should be $1,125. The math in here is not hard. So all you have to prompt for is the length of the driveway in feet. Display the total plowing fee. Now, if you leave this blank or you put something whatever in there, if you want, you can just set it up so this says invalid. All right, but we're not really going into very much. We haven't done very much yet with trying to make sure that stuff is numeric, etc. That's what we're going to get to next week. The end of this week and going into next week. So once again, make sure you change your form name. Make sure you change your form text so it looks like this, except it has your actual name there. Set your tab order, set your accept button, set your cancel button, set your Windows start position. And finally, this is the grading rubric for this. All projects must be placed in one solution. So if you are putting each one of your projects in your own solution, you're going to lose some points there. I don't know how many. All right, at least 5. I'll tell you that right now. For each project, make sure that these 7 things are there. I already mentioned most of them. Set the accept button, set the cancel button, set the tab order. When I say naturally, I mean that, for example, in here, if this is read only, your tab order would probably be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. That is naturally. Make sure the Windows start position is set to center screen. Use well-defined meaning variable names and method names if you happen to create any of your own methods, but otherwise the variable name should be meaningful. Have a short program prologue at the beginning and internal comments as necessary. Well, I don't know how to write prologues. Then literally, just for like the first one, copy all this and put it in there as a comment. For the second one, copy all this and put it in there as a comment. For the third one, copy all this and put it in there as a comment. I've already said change the form name accordingly for each project. All right, Change the form text to what's shown except replace your name here with your actual name. This is the rubric for each problem. So for the first one, you have to follow all the instructions as they were given. If you do that, you get 10 points. If you use a constant, that's 5 points. If you accept the distance in yards, that's 5 points. If you correctly convert it to meters, that's 5 points. If you display it as shown with 2 decimal places, that's 5 points. You add all those up, it's 30 points. For number 2, you've again followed the instructions as shown, that's 10 points. All right, you get 5 points in that one just for using the GUI-based interface. Number 3, you use conditional statements that have no errors. Finally, number 4, you produce the correct output for each of those letter grades that were shown: A, B plus, C, or A, B plus B, C plus C, D, and F. Hot 3, you follow the instructions as shown. Next, you create your GUI-based interface. But again, look, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 10, 15, 20, 30. And the last one, follow the instructions as shown, 10 points. Use a GUI-based interface, 5 points. Use conditional statements, if statements that run without syntax errors, 5 points. Accept the length of the driveway in feet, 5 points. And display the correct charges for each of the 3 categories. Less than whatever it was less than 60, greater than or equal to 60, and less than 100, and greater than 100. And if you add those up, 10, 15, 20, 25, in all 3 cases, 30, 35, 40. That is 100 points. I have now been going for 12 minutes. I will be online for this entire time. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. All right, with that said, good luck.